I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Thursday, September 4th. Today.
What happened early this morning is a tragedy for the community and Hollow Water First Nation and for all of Manitoba.
A First Nation community reeling after a mass stabbing leaves one person dead and several others injured. Also today, no honor among thieves.
Nobody can look at that and see the harm they're doing. Like, it's unbelievable.
The local nonprofit's facing steep losses after being repeatedly targeted by thieves. Plus, where's the beef? A man is charged with stealing more than $10,000 worth of meat.
He said he was sleeping. The kid, when seen him earlier, I guess, there was a dispute and then came back and when my dad was sleeping and my dad woke up to him trying to stab him.
A horrifying story that's left a family worried about their father recovering from knife wounds in hospital. One of 8 people stabbed in what's being called a rampage. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. An 18-year-old woman is dead after a stabbing spree that ended in a car crash that also killed the suspect and seriously injured an RCMP officer. It happened this morning on Hollow Water First Nation on the eastern shore of Lake Winnipeg, about 160 kilometers northeast of Winnipeg. And standing by in studio with the latest is CTV's Catherine Dow. Catherine, walk us through what happened here.
Marilee, RCMP held a news conference this afternoon to go through the series of events that unfolded this morning. And this is what we know. At 3:45 this morning, a Hollow Water First Nation safety officer called RCMP reporting an assault. Then another call shortly before 6, another possible stabbing. This time, RCMP sends several units and medical personnel to the scene. Officers arrived to find a number of people with serious knife wounds needing immediate medical care. Police learned that the suspect, 26-year-old Tyrone Samard, fled in a stolen black SUV and was heading south on Provincial Road 304. Then shortly before 7, the stolen SUV collides with an RCMP cruiser traveling north on 304. Now, this is how the crash site looked this afternoon. An RCMP cruiser badly damaged in one ditch and a black SUV in the other. The suspect driving the SUV was pronounced dead at the scene, and the officer in the cruiser was taken to hospital back in Hollow Water. Back in Hollow Water, 8 community members between the ages of 18 to 60 were injured. 6 patients were transported by ground ambulance, 2 by Stars Air Ambulance. One of the victims, an 18-year-old woman, died from her injuries. It has left the tight-knit community in mourning. Here's the Hollow Water chief speaking emotionally at today's news conference.
I asked the community to pray and support one another out there. And my prayers goes to the people that are in the hospital right now, recovering. Now, and I'll ask the community to continue to pray for them, for their recovery.
Now, Chief Larry Barker was in Winnipeg for the Assembly of First Nations conference. He says he'll be going out to Hollow Water to visit the families, many of whom he has close personal connections with.
Catherine, what about the RCMP officer?
Well, Marilee, RCMP say the officer was taken to hospital with critical but non-life-threatening injuries. She is recovering in hospital now, along with the other victims. RCMP say she was rushing to Hollow Water as part of the RCMP response. And Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew calls her a hero.
We're still finding out the details of what happened about, but we can say that she is a hero. We don't know the specifics yet. We will in the coming days, I'm sure. But she stopped a man on a rampage. So on behalf of the province of Manitoba, I thank her.
Catherine, do police have any idea what caused this man to go on such a violent rampage?
RCMP say there are many questions remaining that are unanswered, especially since the suspect is now dead. Investigators are going door to door in Hollow Water, interviewing witnesses and ensuring there are no more injured victims. RCMP say they will release some more information as the investigation unfolds.
All right. Thanks for this, Catherine.
You're welcome.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any honor among thieves in Winnipeg. Just like small businesses and homeowners, nonprofits are also getting hit by crime. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, police say these thefts aren't just acts of survival. Someone is making money at the expense of the victims.
Ripped apart, thieves climbed on top of the roof of this nonprofit adult learning center and stole the aluminum and copper condenser coils from 8 of these air and heat units. They also hit one on the daycare next door.
It's unbelievable. Like, there's absolutely no moral way of describing this.
Student support worker Gary Swain says the units at the Urban Circle Training Center are damaged beyond repair. The replacement cost is more than $150,000.
We can't afford that, and as far as I know at this moment, insurance is going to cover it, but it's going to make us hard to insure building now.
They're not the only nonprofit dealing with crime on this stretch of Selkirk Avenue. The thrift store next door is also suffering.
My first reaction is always frustration.
The store manager says they are here to help low-income people in the neighborhood afford clothes and furniture. But she's not sure how long the store can afford to stay afloat because of chronic theft.
It's almost every single day, unfortunately. If not every day, maybe every other day.
It seems no one is immune in Winnipeg these days. Homeowners have had their downspouts stolen. Vehicles have been taken by a tow truck in the night. And this week, police say a security guard was shot at during a robbery at the Unicity Walmart. Police say most of these crimes are organized and for profit.
I feel at times there's this misnomer out here that people are starving and they need this for survival. That is not the case.
Gary Swain says the crime on the rooftop was definitely professional.
It's not some guy with a shopping cart grabbing copper. They're executing a team to do this type of work.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg police have charged a man for stealing more than $10,000 worth of meat from stores across the city. The thefts date back to April and, according to police, continued right until the end of August, even after police made an arrest in June. Investigators originally tied 11 thefts worth $3,000 of primarily meat to a 32-year-old man and laid charges on June 21st. But over the next month, another 20 thefts worth more than $7,000 worth of meat were reported. Investigators tied those to the same man, and Tuesday, he was once again arrested and charged. He's now facing a total of 31 theft charges. He's been detained in custody. The owner of a towing company at the center of a multi-vehicle theft investigation is laying the blame squarely on his employee. In a statement of defense, Corey Fincarrick, owner of Winnipeg Auto Recycling, says it was his employee and co-accused who allegedly stole, damaged, and sold the vehicles entirely without his knowledge or direction. He's asking for the case against him to be dismissed with costs. Fincarrick and his employee were arrested and charged in July, and 2 tow trucks were seized. This came after a rash of vehicle thefts in which tow trucks were being used to take vehicles away in the middle of the night. Investigators claimed they were later sold for scrap. None of the allegations have been tested in court. Manitoba's PC Party is crediting the residents of Point Douglas for stopping the NDP from opening a supervised consumption site within walking distance of a school and daycare.
Thank you to the people of Point Douglas for helping this NDP government realize that they have made a huge mistake.
Portage-La Prairie MLA Jeff Bariza slammed the Canoe government for even considering the Disraeli location in the first place and demanded the Premier let people know the other locations the party is now eyeing. The PCs oppose supervised consumption sites, which would allow people to inject drugs with staff on hand to respond to overdoses. It instead favors investing in treatment facilities where Manitobans can get help overcoming addiction. Bariza argues supervised consumption sites have not worked in other provinces and are not the best option to curb the drug crisis.
I was addicted to cigarettes, and I can tell you right now that if somebody give me a cigarette tomorrow, just one, because it helped me get through the day, I would be back to 2.5 packs of cigarettes right away. So treatment facilities are an excellent way to help those people that are in need right now.
The Tories are calling on the province to withdraw its application to the federal government to license a facility at the Disraeli location. The NDP is still pledging to open a supervised consumption site in the province before the end of its 4th term. A new report argues the rise of artificial intelligence, gig work, and rapid population growth are souring job prospects for Canada's youngest workers. Statistics Canada's latest labour force survey shows the unemployment rate for young people aged 15 to 24 hit a nearly 15-year high outside of the pandemic. Financial services company Desjardins says job opportunities are dropping because the economy can't keep up with the recent population growth. Their report also points to the impact of AI, which is eliminating some entry-level job opportunities. The study's authors worry if youth can't find work, they may be forced to fund their post-secondary education solely with debt, and that could hamper their future financial prospects. The Manitoba First Nations Police Service has a new chief. Jason Colin has officially been appointed after serving in the role on an interim basis since January. Colin stepped in following the sudden passing of Chief Doug Paulson, providing leadership through the transition. With nearly 3 decades of policing experience, including roles in First Nations and municipal services, he now takes on the top job permanently. A swearing-in ceremony will be held at a later date. Well, get your banjos out because this weekend is the return of the Banjo Bowl and the continued rivalry between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Blue Bombers captured its 5th straight Banjo Bowl last year at Princess Auto Stadium. It was a close one, though, 26-21. This year, Saskatchewan is in first place in the West Division and actually beat the Bombers in last week's Labor Day Classic in Regina. Bombers head coach Mike O'Shea says the energy of a Banjo Bowl crowd can have an effect on players on the field.
I do think there is a little different level of excitement for this game, you know, than maybe others. Should there be? I don't know. But when you ask about the level of excitement or what we notice, that's really up to the crowd to bring it so that we do notice it.
The Banjo Bowl kickoff is slated for 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. All right, let's bring in Daniel Hammerson now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. Despite the cool, rainy temperatures we've been experiencing this week, the good news is weather's improving in time for that Banjo Bowl.
Yeah, hopefully the field dries off before then. But to his point, there's nothing like a Banjo Bowl crowd. Lots of excitement building here in Winnipeg. But yeah, today the excitement has been watching the rainfall. Basically, since we woke up, actually I'm going to head to this side. Usually we only see the last few hours, but really you can watch how this storm is kind of rolled throughout the southern part of the province throughout Thursday, and we're likely going to see those showers persist for a couple more hours, clearing up, but we could see a little more rain overnight, at least here in Winnipeg. But over the next few days, we should see the sun poke out and reach those seasonal temperatures we love in September coming up in the next couple days. But right now here in Winnipeg, it's cloudy skies, maybe a little rainfall here and there. 8 degrees, wind out of the northeast at 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure's rising, the humidity sitting at 89%.
The Bathfitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
And a look out on busy McPhillips during the evening rush hour right now. No traffic stalls to report, but if you do see one, please let us know.
Canada had a smaller merchandise trade deficit in July than expected. We still imported far more than we exported, but there was a smaller gap than economists expected. The trade deficit was almost $5 billion. Canada sent more energy and vehicles abroad as businesses began to adjust to trade tariffs introduced by Washington. Here's a look at how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar is down today to 72.33. West Texas Intermediate dropped 49 cents to 63.48. Western Canadian Select down as well to 52.10. And the TSX hit yet another record close, gaining 164 points above 28,900. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
Manitoba Liberals will choose a new leader this October.
I am truly sad today to be losing, but the people have spoken. I'll congratulate Mayor Lozelle.
The party has been without a permanent leader since Douglas Lamont lost his St. Boniface seat in the 2023 election, when the party lost 2 of its 3 seats in the 57-seat legislature. In June, the party's sole remaining MLE and interim leader, Cindy Lamoureux, announced she would not run for the job. The party announced its leadership convention will take place at the Radisson Hotel in Winnipeg, October 25th. Deadline for nominations is September 25th. Sickle cell disease is a genetic blood disease that's painful and can be fatal. An estimated 6,000 Canadians live with it, and an upcoming event is raising money and awareness about the disease. Andrea's Angel Walk honors Andrea Ndukwu, who died of SCD when she was just 7. The disease affects red blood cells and their ability to provide oxygen to the body. Andrea's sister Beverly is a member of the Sickle Circle of Manitoba. She says the group has successfully lobbied to get newborns screened for the disease.
A lot of people didn't know that they had this gene and were at risk for having a kid who had sickle cell disease. And so newborn screening was so important, and we're really glad that it was able to pass last year.
But there's still a lot of work to do. Patients still face many barriers to care. The 8th annual Andrea's Angel Walk happens this Saturday morning at Kildonan Park at 10 o'clock. You can find out more by visiting sicklecirclemb.com.
Community Connection is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber.
A spooky Halloween tradition makes its return to Winnipeg this fall. Daniel has your spotlight coming up next.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Led Zepp again, the premier tribute.
A spooktacular, family-friendly tradition makes its return this fall. That's right, Boo at the Zoo is back for 21 nights of frightening fun in October. Get ready to see some creepy characters, take in some carnival rides, and explore all the haunting attractions the zoo has to offer. And for the adults, a slightly scarier event featuring live music, a costume contest, and more is happening October 31st. Boo at the Zoo runs October 3rd to the 31st. You can pick up tickets starting Monday at the zoo's entrance or by visiting assiniboinepark.ca. And now, if you feel like smashing something, either out of frustration or jubilation after this weekend's Banjo Bowl, some local groups have you covered. Underdog's Restaurant on West Portage Avenue will be hosting a car smash fundraiser Saturday evening. For a small donation, you'll be able to take a sledgehammer to a car decked out in Rough Rider green and white. All the money is going to Kids Sport Manitoba to help children take part in sports. The smash-off gets started at 6 p.m. And speaking of football, football tradition continues here on CTV tonight with NFL Thursday Night Football. The Philadelphia Eagles take on the Dallas Cowboys. The excitement is coming up right after our newscast. And taking a look out on Donald Street right now, fairly busy there. 8 degrees here in Winnipeg. The wind coming out of the northeast at 13 under drizzly skies. I'll have your full forecast coming right up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, today really was one of those what you see is what you get kind of days. Rain, cloudy skies, and temperatures not even hitting double digits, which is far below our seasonal average around 21 this time of year. But some good news, it is ending. We could see a few scattered showers as we make our way into Friday in western Manitoba. Those showers are expected to last throughout the night and actually through much of Friday as well. Here in Winnipeg, some chance of showers to start off the day, but expecting a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow. However, out west and parts of the north could see a little rain as well. Heading into Saturday, again, chance of some scattered showers. Now, for Bomber fans, we were talking about the Banjo Bowl. There is a chance of some showers on Saturday morning right now, but fingers crossed it's going to clear in time for kickoff in the afternoon. As for tonight here in Winnipeg, low of 6 degrees, chance of showers. The wind picking up a little bit out of the northwest at 20 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, that wind's going to pick up even more, 30, gusting up to 50. Mix of sun and cloud, high of 15 degrees in the afternoon. And taking a look at the long-range forecast on Saturday for that Banjo Bowl, 16 under a mix of sun and cloud, mainly sunny Sunday, high of 19, and then back to seasonal averages, mainly sunny on Monday with a high of 22. And our first Skywatch pick of the day comes from Angus out in Split Lake, a little toast to summer there with those northern lights. And our second photo is from Lisa out in Beausejour of a combine there with the sun setting. Keep those pictures coming. Send them in to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Daniel. Well, check your pockets because a new coin honoring one of the most influential Indigenous artists of the 20th century is now in circulation. The new $2 coin pays homage to Daphne Ojig, who was born in Ontario in 1919, but also spent time living in BC and right here in Manitoba. The colorized center depicts a woman holding a drum and is an adaptation of her piece called The Folk Singer. 3 million of the coins will be minted, 2 million of which will be in color. They'll start popping up, in stores over the next little bit. You could also call them mint, though, and secure your own if you want. Pretty cool looking coin.
Good to know.
All right, Thursday Night Football is up next. And go to our website for your 6 o'clock newscast. That is where you will find us at 6. Hope to see you then.